What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers have officially played their first 10 games of the season. And so I want to talk about and kind of break down my thoughts and opinions. And of course, I want to hear yours down in the comments below. What kind of grade would you give the Lakers thus far? All of those things. So let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel while turning on the bell notification. So let's dive into it. Now, we are much improved from last season. Right at this point, we had one win, because we were 2-10, but we lost. We were 1-5, and then we didn't win our second game till after 10 games, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so we are far and away better this year than we were last year, at least record wise. But where do we stand currently? Now, I'll get the grade out of the way, and then we'll kind of break down from there. So I would give the Lakers a C- as far as the season thus far. Now, could you argue that it's been a D, or I definitely don't think it's been an F, but is there an argument that it could be a D? Sure. The reason I like a C-, and I think C- is fair, is because there are numerous factors into that, right? The Lakers haven't been great or good necessarily by any stretch of the imagination. But we have seen enough of the good to know that this is a team that is going to be good and have the success. They just need to put it together. And you're starting to see them put it together the last few games. And that's why I am at a C-. Wouldn't even argue you if you wanted to give them a C. If you wanted to give them a C, C+, up to this point, just because of how they've looked the last few games, and you're starting to see that progression, I think that is fine. But I'm going to take them over the entirety of the package, give them a C-. Now, the Lakers have obviously dealt with injuries, very significant injuries. Guys have been in and out of lineup. I mean, you've already had in the first 10 games, LeBron and AD both miss. So I need to take those all into factor. But the Lakers have not been great still, even right now, have not been great on the offensive side shooting the basketball. Their defense hasn't been there. We have seen the brilliance in spots. We have seen the defense be elite. I mean, elite in spots or quarters, but they have yet to put it together over an entirety of a game. We have seen the offense look brilliant in spots, in quarters, but not the entirety of the game. The Lakers have also been extremely heavily LeBron reliant. I mean, we are so bad without LeBron. We are by far the worst team in the league when LeBron isn't on the court. But I do think that Portland Trailblazers game that the Lakers won without LeBron James, I think was huge for the Lakers and the direction in which the Lakers are going. If the Lakers lost that game, I'd probably give them a D. But because they won that game, I think that is huge and very impactful for the Lakers and their success. Because you force the Lakers now to be in a position to where they can't be reliant on LeBron James. And how does that look? Do they fold and get smacked by a Portland team? Or do they triumph and overcome that and figure it out? And they did the latter. They figured it out, right? They were able to come together collectively as a team, because this was a great team win. You saw guys like Anthony Davis, Cam Reddish, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, everybody chip in and get some real huge wins here. You also saw the same thing in the Suns game. So this was 2 back-to-back team wins in a team that is starting to show the progress. There have been some hiccups along the way that needed adjusting and addressing, right? The starting 4 for the Lakers, right? Because Vando's out, and we've seen, Taurean Prince, we've seen Cam Reddish, we've seen our fair share of lineup changes early in the season. Again, a lot of that is due to injury, but you've seen that. And you saw the issues that we had with both D'Lo and Reeves. Two guys that I fully expect will start to come around and right the ship. You're starting to see both do that. You're starting to see both really start to get more comfortable and get back to kind of being the two guys we need them to be. But we had to move Austin Reeves to the bench. And I hope that that is something that continues to happen. Even when Vando returns, even if the Lakers make a trade, even whatever. I just think with this current roster, with LeBron James and everything like that, I just think that Austin Reeves makes the most sense off the bench in that sixth-man role. You can continue to close with him, which is something that I have preached heavily, right? Because the starting role is just, it's a vanity metric. It's, ooh, I'm a starter. But at the end of the day, it's about how many minutes do you play. If you're a starter and you play 1 minute, why would you want to be a starter when you come off the bench, play 35, right? Like, starting is just, again, it's just to say, I'm a starter. But the reality is, what is your role? What is your impact? How many minutes are you playing? Are you closing the game? Because that's when it's most important. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Reeves has been the guy closing the game, right? We have the talent. There's no question about that. And we knew that there'd be a little couple hiccups. I mean, even when I did my breakdown going into the season, I said that I thought the Lakers would finish 6-4, hopefully 7-3 through the first 10 games. That was my prediction. That was my goal. I was off by a game or two, which is fine, but I knew and took into account that, not the injuries, but I took into account that it would be a learning process. That yes, even though we had a good chunk of the core return from last season, they still didn't really get to play together, right? They played like 8 games together going into the playoffs. And then even then, you're in this just war. You don't have the time to really learn and kind of go through the trials and tribulations that you usually do over the course of a season. They didn't know each other. Well, now they're starting to get to do that. And you're starting to see some of these relationships and chemistries build on each other. D'Lo is starting to get better connections and setting guys up better. And him and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has been brilliant this year. I mean, outside of that second half of the Denver game, Anthony Davis has been great. Great. And LeBron James is still being LeBron James. The pieces to the puzzle are starting to be put together. So me giving a C- thus far through the first 10 games, that's kind of what I expected. And again, if you watched my early videos about me talking about, hey, where I think the Lakers will be through the first 10 games, or in live streams and stuff like that, I said that I thought it would be a little bit of a struggle. But I believe wholeheartedly that this team is a championship contending team that is going to be one of the better teams towards the back half of the year. You know, I didn't think it would look as rough as it has. I knew that there would be the ups and downs on the roller coaster, and there would be a little bit of a hiccup period, but we haven't had that confident, okay, this is the Lakers game yet. We've had quarters, we've had moments, right? Like that Suns game. If the Lakers play like they did in the fourth quarter of that Suns game, you're not beating this Lakers team. That's the Lakers team that I want. That team that just completely clamps, shut down, rebounding, not giving up loose ball. Like that Laker team is the Laker team that I believe that we will be once we get to the playoffs, because we will have figured it out by then. That's the Laker team that I want. I can't give the Lakers a higher grade because they've been so rough and all the lack of just offensive rebounding and whatnot. And again, the only reason I'm giving them a C- is because you're starting to see the growth. Lakers did a much better job rebounding the basketball the last few games, right? Or at least we'll call it like a game and a half, right? You're starting to see them figuring things out and working things out. And like I said, I think the Suns game, I really do think that that's a game that you're going to be able to point to and go, okay, that was the turning point. I also think this Blazers game, to an extent, is something very similar, but not the way that the Suns game was. I think that you're going to be able to point to the Blazers game and go, that was the moment they stopped being so reliant on LeBron James. That's what I think will happen. And I think that you'll have the Suns game as like the turning point for the team as a whole. And I think you'll have the Blazers game as the turning point for the team not counting LeBron. Right? Like, okay, now guys are more comfortable. Guys aren't so, willing to defer and be super LeBron heavy reliant, right? That's my hope. But the Lakers still have a lot of work to do, a real uphill battle and a real climb. But you've also seen this throughout the league, right? Like, outside of like Denver, no team has looked that good. And even Denver has shown some, weaknesses in their armor. But, I mean, Philly's been the best team thus far, and they do look really good, and we'll see how they progress. But, the Celtics have had their struggles. The Bucks have had their struggles. I mean, they're 5-4. Right? And that's a team that many were ready to crown the NBA champions. You look in the West, and it's like, the Warriors have had their struggles. The Grizzlies, look at the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies went from being the 2 seed. I said that I didn't think that they would be more than a play-in team this year. I said that I thought and wouldn't be surprised if they missed the playoffs. And I had people tell me I have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is why I can't take you serious, and you lose all credibility, and blah, 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 blah. And guess what? The Grizzlies they were 1-8 till they beat the Clippers. I love it. But you look at teams like the Phoenix Suns. Again, another team people were ready to crown. Give them the trophy. It's over. No one's beating them. And right now, they are behind us and would be a play-in team as the 9th seed. I mean, we'd be a play-in team as the 8th seed, but still, and we have the tiebreaker and we've beaten them twice. Right? So, again, teams struggle, especially early on. So I'm not going to judge and write off a team because their first 10 games. I still wholeheartedly believe this team is going to be hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the year. And number 18 is on the way. They have an uphill battle to climb. Don't get me wrong. They have a journey. But that's the beauty of an 82-game season. Is the roller coaster ride. Say it all the time. Don't get too high with the highs. Don't get too low with the lows. The pendulum swing of fandom, right? Lakers win. Oh my God, they're the best team in the world. They're going to win the NBA championship. No one can beat them. And then you lose the game. Lakers are trash. Blow it up. Trade LeBron. Trade AD. Fire the coach. Everyone sucks. Blah, blah, blah. It's just, can we just let things play out? Can we just let things unfold? I talked about it all year last year. Again, one of those things. I'm an idiot. I lose credibility. I'm this, I'm that, and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? One of us was right. We were in the conference finals. We didn't win the NBA championship, but they right the ship and they turned it around and they figured it out. And they got to the playoffs and they made a huge run. I think this Lakers team is far better than last year's team. Far better. I think this team will eventually figure it out. LeBron James and Anthony Davis have been brilliant thus far, which is what you want to see. It's just everyone else has got to figure it out. This team will figure it out. And when they do, you're going to see that 8, 9, 10 game win streak. And the Lakers are, number 1 defense, top 7 to 10 offense. Oh, are the Lakers the best team in the league conversation? You're going to see that narrative. You're going to see that shift. You're going to see that change. This team was built for the playoffs. This team was built for the grueling 82-game season. But this is a team that we knew we knew was going to take a little bit of time. And if you're somebody that didn't know that, well, welcome to the channel, because I would have, if you were there during that time, you would know. And if you weren't, again, welcome to the channel. Have a seat. Well, I'll walk you through this, and it'll be fine. The Lakers are going to be okay. The Lakers are going to be very good. There are not many teams, if any, that are going to be able to beat this Lakers team in a 7-game series, especially if guys are healthy. And that's the key. Can we keep LeBron James and Anthony Davis healthy especially? If those two can be healthy, we'll be good. We got to stop being so LeBron reliant. We got to rebound the basketball better. We got to start hitting shots. There are a lot of issues with this Lakers team. I'm not oblivious to it. I'm not saying that, we're like right now, we're not a contender. Right now, if the playoffs started today, the Lakers are probably losing in the first round. But luckily, there's an 82-game season. And luckily, we have seen the remnants of the team that is going to win the championship. It's just now up to them to put it all together to go win said championship. And I believe that they will. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with me? What grade would you give the Lakers? Do you think C- is fair? Would you give them something lower, something higher? Again, I wouldn't argue about, I wouldn't even argue you about a like D+, right? I think they've been better than D, right? Especially these last few games. I think you've seen a different Lakers team, and you've seen the moments of like, okay, that's the team that we really like. Plus, they're 500, and I mean, when you look at them compared to everyone else, they're at least, in the playoffs. Like, they're there, right, currently, through the first 10 games. If they were like the 12th seed or something like that, then I'd be like, yeah, they definitely deserve a D or an F or whatever. But they're where they need to be at this point, and got a very favorable schedule. I fully believe that they win, like 5 to 6 of their next 7. And we need that. But again, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. I appreciate you all. See you in the next one. Thank you.